What's good, YouTube? Dre here with Different Gaming. We got our boy Cory again. And what do you do at Hickory Regional?
I got 14th place playing Tenpai.
Oh. You want to do shout-outs now or later?
Yeah, I'll do shout-outs now. Wife got mad at me last time because she was last in the shout-out, so I'll shout out my wife first, and then we'll do, the boys, Arturo, Cademan, Mitchell, Ira. Sleepy Time Training Circle. Picante, always hosting us, making sure we've got a spot to play, test, all that stuff. Make sure we always have the stuff we need. And that's it.
Let's hop right into the day.
So, standard Tenpai, right? 3 white, 3 red, 2 green. It's the same for everybody. There's nothing really to say about it. I'm playing kind of half hand trap, half breakers, right? So 3 ash, 3 Veiler, and then 2 Finner, and that is it for the monsters. I ended up playing a lot of matches that just kind of ended up being Finner control, which works really well, right? Gets a couple hand traps in hand, a couple breakers, something like that. They make you go first, you just put a Finner out, you put a seals up, maybe a hand trap or 2 in your hand, and then you just pass to them, and a lot of times it was enough. Just hold them off. Sometimes it wasn't, but in those cases it was fine. We just got to go second again next time and just killed them.
Blow them out the water.
I've really been considering putting in the 3rd Finner. That I've missed them a few times. There are times where you put in where you've got 2 and you put 1 out and then you lose your second one to something. You either send it off field spell on the first turn, or they out your first one, you summon the second one, something like that, and then your top deck on the next turn is field spell, and that's all you've got. You've got no other cards in hand. You really want to be able to search that 3rd Finner and send it off the field spell so that you can play. I haven't lost any games because of that, but there are games where I've been able to just end the game right there if I could have done that. Play 4 field spell, and then the 3 Kyvan. That's also pretty standard. There's nothing really special to say about that. The 3 prosperity, you want the consistency. The extract, people say it's kind of tight. I don't really feel like it is. I am playing the 1 cash field spell in the set rotation. The set rotation went crazy, right? It's obviously it's a 5th copy of your field spell, which you always want to have, but you also, it's field spell removal. Centurion is better, I think, than people are giving it credit for. You're seeing it. I played Centurion in the 8th round, opened up set rotation in game 1, and I think the guy wanted to cry because I think Calamity Lock carried him all the way up to the 8th round. So he made his board, whatever. I had no interaction for him, and then I just went draw phase, set rotation, and he looked at me and said, "My field spell is protected from destruction," and I was like, "That's awesome, but it's gonna go to the grave."
This don't destroy.
Yeah, and then I hit him with lightning spell, destroy spells, so outed my own rate solve, so he wasn't even able to flip that on his own turn. Not that it mattered because he died that turn anyway, but just outing the field spell meant that he can't calamity, and he just hated everything. 3 droplet, it's crazy. I didn't use it a ton in the regional, but before that, all the time, especially voiceless voice players, right? You get it, you just drop it on their big guy, and they really struggle to sort of deal with that.
Oh yeah.
Crazy card, Book of Eclipse. This went insane all weekend, right? Just setting their board, even against Snake Eye, just like setting just the Flamberge by itself, and then doing Eclipse 1 and then Droplet 2, flipping the Flamberge down and then sending the Eclipse and then 1 from hand and hitting the Apo and the World Sea. Basically just shut down the guy's entire board. and then I got to go into battle, and just so it shut down Princess Engrave, stranded his IP in the back row, turned off his Apo, turned off the World Seed Pop, basically left him with nothing. I mean, he had, I think at the end of his combat, he was playing the Fire King version. So he had no cards in the back row, and the only thing he had in hand was a Kieran, which he had no way to trigger, as long as I didn't pop that one Flamberge that I had set. I also play the mismatched Lightning Storms with a Dark Hole and a Feather Duster. I'm gonna replace the Dark Hole with a Raigeki. I actually realized I don't own a Raigeki, so the Dark Hole was what it ended up being.
What?
I don't know why. I just went looking for it and was like, oh, well, I guess I just don't own one of those cards. So, yeah, but that also went crazy. Drawing the God Hand, there were several games where it was like the drawing, the hand on draw would be like Eclipse, Droplet, Duster, Dark Hole, or it would be like Dark Hole, Lightning Storm, and then it would be like one like White Dragon or Field Spell or Kaiman, which is essentially like out everything that you have, full combo and kill you. It's, I mean, you draw that, it's essentially the God Hand, and you just auto win. And then the last three are just going to be the 3 Imperms. The final 3 of the hand trap in the deck. The extra deck, I think, is pretty standard. 2 Joe Biden Dragons, 2 of the Transcendent Dragons. I'm surprised by the number of people who still do not know that this card says you don't get to play the game.
Tell them again.
If this card hits the field and you let them go battle phase, you just don't get to do anything. If you don't like, if they put this on the board and they enter battle and they're going to be able to kill you, you can't stop them. You can't activate cards or effects. If they can make this guy, if they put the field spell up and they can make this guy and then enter battle phase, you've lost.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Trident Dragon. I didn't even have to summon this guy a lot because most people were just scooping it up before I even got to him. I think I pulled him out 2 or 3 times where people were just like, I'm going to make you actually do the thing. But most people just knew beforehand. Moonlight, I've used him a couple times. I don't think I used him regional. Black Rose, same deal. Samurai Destroyer, that is basically a tech for Yubel, and also for unaffected stuff, Chaos Angels, stuff like that. Ended up not needing him for the event, but I think that it's mandatory because the last thing you want to do is get caught lacking, and you don't have that because you're just going to auto lose that matchup. This is a blank. I've already taken it out. It was Quebolt Dragon or whatever. I've never summoned this. I think every situation in which you would summon this, you'll be summoning that first, since they're doing effectively the same thing. It's a single targeted removal. The difference is that if he sticks on the board, he can do it repeatedly, and Quebolt's not. So I end up cutting the Quebolt for this card that I'll be playing this weekend. And then just the link stuff. So the Striker, it's basically just here for if you need to make your SP banish. The Seals for when you go first, you need to get that extra little bounce or whatever, and then obviously Seals is going to float into your Fadra, which is going to bring something back, and it's going to float into a bunch of advantage. Little Knight, Hida, Princess, and Raging Phoenix. None of those got summoned. These are really niche. They are probably cuttable if you needed to. I don't know what you would play instead, but I think Princess could probably come up more than any of the other ones, and then Raging Phoenix is there just in case for some reason you need to get the Princess off the board. And then in that case, you just might as well play the Hida just because it makes you a free Princess.
We like free princesses.
But other than that, go to the side deck. 3 D barrier. Obviously, it's for the mirror. D barrier hits the deck, and it's kind of just a turn skip. We play 3 cosmic for the extra back row. Obviously, I'm already running a fair bit of back row removal, but on those decks where it's really important, and again, in the mirror, you want to be able to out the field spell. I want to play, you know, if I'm going first, I want to play these 3 plus multiple avenues to out that field spell. Again, 3 ogres. These come in the mirror to out the field spell. You play 3 shifter because you can, and it's just gonna auto win you some matches. You can kill through shifter. There are a few different lines. You can kill through shifter and prosperity if you have the correct hand. You can drop a shifter, do a prosperity, get the right stuff in your hand, and you can still OTK through that line. And then the final thing is 3 crossouts, which I also will play in the mirror, and then also I will usually put these in against Snake Eye, just because they play such a large variety of hand traps, that I'll usually put those in just so I don't get hit with the Ash Veiler Imperm.
Ash Veiler Imperm Nib.
But I think the list is pretty close to the topping list from Indy. I think the difference is the Indy list was maining the Ogre and siding the Eclipse, but Eclipse is just insane. The number of people who thought that they were going to get draws off Eclipse were great, but it was always like Eclipse set the board, and then either Lightning Storm or Dark Hole wiped the board out after I set it so that they couldn't interact. It was just dumb. Matchups were Scareclaw, Pearly, Pure Melodious, the Mirror, Manadium, Voiceless against Arturo in round 6. Fire King Snake Eye, and then Centurion. With the losses being the Manadium player and the Voiceless matchup.
Who was your Pearly player?
The Pearly player was Tobias. Tobias. That was, he was my Pearly matchup. So.
Now, let me tell you something. I didn't play the best, and I got what I deserved. Back on me, back on me. That's a good man, though. That's a good man.
So, yeah, it was a good day. It was fun. Hopefully, we're actually about to get out of here now and drive up to Richmond and do it again. So, it's his turn now.
It's your turn.
So, no, his turn.
K-Man didn't go.
Well, he's going now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
Either gonna go X2 or win.
all right.
Appreciate the deck profile as always, y'all. Peace.